Mr. Angus, I won't even seek to correct the number of inaccurate statements you've made there. I will simply point out again that it is literally not legally possible for me as a volunteer to register.
Is it still lobbying if you're not paid? That's one of the questions to come out of the We Charity co-founder's appearance at the House of Commons Ethics Committee. The committee is looking into how the We Charity got the contract to run the Canada Student Services grant program, but the NDP's Xiaoli Angus was in disbelief as to the Kielburgers' explanation for why they weren't registered as lobbyists.
The fact that you're a volunteer, come on, Craig. We're no dummies here. You guys run this organization. You're a volunteer that has a chief of staff who's paid for by the charity. That's ridiculous.
We was contracted to run the Student Services grant last year, a contract worth up to $43.5 million, but the program was axed after it was learned the charity gave paid work to Trudeau family members and members of then Finance Minister Bill Morneau's family, neither of whom recused themselves from cabinet votes on the program. Ethics wants to know if there was inappropriate lobbying that brought We the contract. The Kielburger brothers say there wasn't and add it would have been impossible for them to register as lobbyists.
Sir, it is actually not possible for a volunteer to register to lobby. It is literally not possible. If you would like to change the law, I invite you to do so.
The meeting was contentious, with Kielburgers having first refused to appear without an attorney and alleging that the partisan nature of the committee wouldn't give them a fair shake. The brothers had particular scorn for the NDP's Xiaoli Angus and say that rhetoric from politicians and news media have resulted in death threats to their family.
My youngest isn't even 1 year old, and he's already received death threats directed to him. My two journalists and newspapers in Canada felt they could publish our home addresses in those newspapers. We've had the police come multiple times to our home. My 3.5-year-old can't play outside anymore. On the day we announced the charity was closing, when certain members of parliament got on their social media accounts to inflame people, someone shows up at my house who feels that they had the right to intimidate my wife.
The Kielburgers continue to say it was the government that approached them to run the Canada Student Services grant program and not the other way around. And they add there was no inappropriate contact between the Kielburgers, We, and members of cabinet. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.